Hi, everybody. And per the uncut, Texas passes a law stating riding with that green tree in your car is a felony now. So that was last week, which would have been what the first of the month. That might have been the law that went into effect. Possessing THC products that don't comply with the new state regulations can now result in felony charges. And they are more serious than your average crimes, like how they relate them to under 1 gram state jail felony is 180 to 2 years, plus up to a $10,000 fine. Then next we have 1 to 4 grams is a third degree felony, 2 to 10 years, up to a $10,000 fine. Next is 4 to 400 grams, third degree felony. No, 4 to 400 grams is a second degree felony with 2 to 20 years. Oh my goodness. And up to $10,000 fine. Over 400 grams is a first degree felony. What? 5 to 99 years or life. Plus up to a $50,000 fine. So did Texas go too far, they say, or do you agree with the new law? Child. Some of these for medicinal purposes, can they use that anymore? Like if I need it for like health concerns, or is this something like it doesn't matter if you get caught with it, you're going to jail? Because I'm sure if it's like if you have a medical reason that you're using it, and I guess they still give you the card or whatnot to give to law enforcement so they can validate why you're using it, then that would make sense. But y'all, this is what happens, and I don't want to make it political, but the way everything is moving, even in the way that we live and how we want to operate in this country, they are moving very political. And so it has to be a understanding, because what's understood don't need to be explained. Most of these people, if they would have voted, then they wouldn't have this problem. Texas is one of those states where everybody didn't vote. They were too busy at this time. They were going to some type of thing that was happening in Houston where they were wilding out and doing the most. And nobody was thinking to vote for their good. And here we are now where they slip one on you without you watching. And here we are. So I don't have any type of regard or care, because before I voted, and a lot of us voted, like the 92 percenters and the some and the I guess it was 78% of men, black men that voted. We voted for a reason. And it was to avoid cheap shots like this. So they don't put you in jail for any reason. And when you don't vote locally and during the primaries and when it counts the most, then you really can't complain at this point, because you're effing around and finding out, like a lot of people are. So, in that regards, maybe the next time, if you're registered to vote and you're able to vote, you would take the laws that you are helping to not persecute you for something that is very minuscule and leading up to 99 years in prison, that if you voted for something that didn't put you in prison for 99 years for just having a tree, then we wouldn't be here where they actually passed the law. And I'm going to play a video about James Tellerico, who explains that fact. Well, first, let me play this video by this young man first. And I will, hold on 1 second. Let me play this video.
Just passed this new law saying if you have a gram of the green, that it's like 180 days in jail and like something sentence. And if you have up to 4 grams, it's a felony. Now, I'm not here to debate whether it should be illegal, all that stuff. It is what it is. Granted, I live in Texas. You go in any major city in Texas, Dallas, Houston, you'll think it's legal. The problem I have is we have missing kids and other things we should be worried about. You look at other things people do. I don't want to say like other things people do, they get less time for, and it's a lesser sentence. And I get it from a business standpoint that I guess they trying to, I don't really know what they're trying to do, but I think it's kind of crazy that you can go to jail, you can get a felony, like a.
Okay, I don't know if I was heard, but I'm gonna repeat what I said. So the reason why they're doing what they're doing is they snuck one in on you because you were apparently too high at that time to go out and vote. So when they get you now, you become a convicted felony, which means you lose your rights. And one of those rights is a right to vote. So if there's a large number of people that they know, black and young, smoking weed, then they know that's the demographic they want to go after. And when you don't vote, this is what happens. And that's why y'all are effing around and finding out, because you're trying to figure out, you don't know why it's happening. Those of us that voted know exactly why it's happening. Because they want to make you a convicted felon, so you lose your rights to vote, which trickle down the numbers even more, which is why they're trying to deport everybody, most of the people, because some of them, well, no, not all, some were against what was happening, but the others effed around and found out. Next video to this.
And it's a lesser sentence to that. But that's just Texas. Like I don't know how to put it. And you would think around, and if you're not from Texas and you came here and you go out during nighttime, you would think it's legal. You go to any clubs, you would think it's legal. But that's Texas.
So y'all just down there losing y'all rights. Y'all ain't even fighting for yourself. Basically. Wow. You go outside and you don't even know what's legal or illegal because you don't even know your rights or the rules and regulations of that state. Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. So I'm going to play this video with James Tellerico where he's explaining what Texas agreed on and how they reneged on it.
Bill is insane. This legislature legalized hemp 6 years ago, but instead of regulating this booming industry in our state, we are now going backwards to the days of prohibition. This bill is not going to stop Texans from smoking weed or eating edibles just because a bunch of politicians in Austin tell them not to. Texans will still use THC, but instead of getting it safely from a local small business, they'll now get it from the black market, from the drug cartels. This ban is a gift to the cartels. We are now telling full-grown adults how to live their lives. This is the nanny state at its worst. This is big government at its worst. I thought the Republican Party believed in limited government and personal responsibility. I thought the Republican Party believed in liberty and freedom. What gives us the right to tell an adult what to do on their own time? We are now about to throw Texans in jail for seeking relief that's safer than alcohol and less addictive than tobacco. Instead of fully funding schools, expanding access to health care, lowering costs of child care, this legislature is focused on banning a product that gives people a little peace. Texans use THC to lessen anxiety. Seniors use it to manage chronic pain. Our veterans use it to treat PTSD. With this ban, we are now making people's lives harder, not easier. I want to leave you with a quote. It is time to end needless arrests and incarcerations of adults for small amounts of marijuana for personal use. That wasn't a Democrat. That was President Donald Trump. To my Republican colleagues, I'm asking you to oppose the cartels, stand with President Trump, and vote no on this insane bill.
So they don't think Texans are responsible, or else they wouldn't be trying to renege on this law. And they don't believe in liberty because it's Texas. And freedom, yeah, what's that? They don't, that's like a foreign word that you have to learn that language and that word itself and literally research freedom, because that can be the definition of an animal that's in the wild. That could be freedom. But concerning us humans and this, the way where we are right now in this country, freedom, liberty, and responsibility is not, that's not this. That is not our country, not anymore, if it ever was. And he's right. Military people definitely need that for PTSD and for relief. Elderly people need it for pain resistance, and so do most young people and people in any age group. They are using that. I have a neighbor right now. Her son uses that for his rheumatoid arthritis that he has in his legs. And so that's why I'm asking, does this involve that particular group, or would they have to have some type of medical card that keeps them safe? If not, then yes, a lot of people are in danger. You know, I've never smoked weed and I've never indulged in it. So it's like, this is something that Texas is going to have to wake up, because before, with the Jasmine Crockett situation, we've been keeping our eyes on Texas, and I always felt like if Texas ever turned blue, it's going to be a trickle down effect. It's going to, if Texas ever takes control and become a real cowboy and cowgirl and take the horse by the saddle and really ride the voting polls, it's a lot that they can accomplish. That's that they're not even going to be ready for if they fight for this and actually do something. But the way they voted has already happened. A lot of people out there are so conservative, they can't see past conservatorship. They can't see past that. And so, like I said, if Texas ever turned blue, Florida would soon follow, and so would other key states that have been red for a long time. Like even the state I grew up in Louisiana, these states would literally flip because of the numbers. People were watching Texas, and the way they move is because of Texas also. So, yeah, it has a lot to do with when you don't vote, guys, and this is what happens. And now it's going to happen. They're going to catch people with weed, and they're going to go to jail, and they're going to become convicted felons, and they're going to lose their rights to vote. You're going to lose your right to vote. Look in the mirror and explain that to yourself. Have a conversation with yourself, Texas people, the ones that didn't vote and never try to vote because they're scared of being assigned as a juror, is what a woman told me. And I thought that was the most dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. It has to do with your rights and taking control of your life. So if you don't vote, you're going to lose and continue to lose. So get down in the comments and let me know what you guys think, because this is sad and it upsets me that it's happening this way because people didn't vote. They know they didn't vote. We so kept our eyes on Texas. And look, I'm from Texas, y'all, and I voted. It's a lot of us voted, but we didn't have the numbers. People didn't want to vote. They had every excuse not to vote, and they didn't. And I just can't. I don't want to be around people who are quitters that don't try to do anything for their state or for themselves or the people around them. They don't even want to do anything for their children and their families. You don't even vote for them to be safe. And now we have this law that's gonna get people put in jail. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because they already know the areas to go to where the smell of weed is gonna make a cop's day. And so that's where we are. You live and you learn. please vote because it's important no matter what nobody says. And if they tell you any different, then they're a quitter and you shouldn't associate with them. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you in the next video, okay? Bye.